With just over 6 million people, Ireland is a small country that has a strong hold on the popular imagination. Even if you've never been there, you've almost certainly seen images of its beautiful green fields, picturesque villages, wild Atlantic coastline, and ancient monuments that evoke a mystical Celtic past. You may think of a people that are fair-skinned, freckled, and into their music, and who you can see happily celebrating their Irishness every year on St. Patrick's Day. So what else is there to this curiously charming nation? Well, actually, for a small place with such an apparently clear identity, Ireland is in fact quite complex and has some interesting contradictions. The island contains not only the Republic of Ireland, but also Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK. Ireland feels very rural, since it was largely untouched by the Industrial Revolution. But it had an economic boom in the 90s that was partly based on the IT sector. And although the country presents a proud image, it has a long history of emigration. Around 80 million people around the world say they're Irish or part Irish. And what can they say they're proud of? Well, they have a rich literary tradition. From Jonathan Swift, who wrote the famous adventure story Gulliver's Travels, to Oscar Wilde and James Joyce, whose novel Ulysses is celebrated every year on Bloomsday, on the 16th of June. All of these works, as well as monuments to their authors and other great Irish writers, can be found in the beautiful and historic Trinity College Library. But the Irish book that has been read, or at least flicked through, by more people than any other, is a non-fiction book called Guinness World Records. Covering world records for over 60 years now, the book was originally published to help deal with an argument about which was the fastest bird in Europe. The Irish are also quite well represented in other areas of culture. You'll probably know music groups The Cause, The Pogues, and U2. Then there are famous actors Colin Farrell, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and Saoirse Ronan. And then there are some things the Irish pretty much keep to themselves, like the sports of hurling, which is a bit like hockey, and Gaelic football, which looks like a combination of football and rugby. It could be said that if there hadn't been so much emigration, the world might not know much about this small country and its people, with their often quiet, rural way of life. But perhaps, if you visit Ireland, you might find out something about the country that surprises you.